Hey everyone, welcome to Church Tech Support channel here on YouTube. My name is Roger, and today we're going to be talking about how to create your Ableton template for your worship set list. Now, in my previous video, we talked about where can you get your multi-tracks from multiple sources like Multitracks.com, Loop Community, and if your artist has their multi-tracks in their website, you can just have to download it from there. Like I said before, this video we're going to be talking about how to create your Ableton set list. But before that, we're going to be talking about where can you get Ableton, the price difference with the different version of Ableton, and then from there we're going to be creating our Ableton template. Let's get started. Alright, the first thing we need to do is we need to head over to ableton.com and let's find out the prices and the different version of Ableton. Alright, here we are in ableton.com. As you can see here, Ableton right now has Ableton Live 11. I'm going to be using Ableton Live 10 for this video because we haven't upgraded our license yet, but it's all gonna look the same, and there's some features you guys have that I won't have for this video, but it's all gonna be having the same functionality. So we're gonna go to Live up here, and then we're gonna click on Buy Now. But if you want to read like what Ableton 11 has or what Ableton Live does, you're gonna have it. You're gonna see it right here. We're gonna click on Buy Now. Here's where I'm gonna explain this here. There's 3 different versions of Ableton. When you download a multi-track file from the sources I explained, you're probably going to have varying from 11 to 26 instruments in those files, depending on what song you do. So what I would recommend you get is going to be Live 11 standard. The reason I say that is because if you look at the bottom here, you're going to have unlimited audio MIDI tracks that you can import into the Ableton. Unlike the Live 11 intro, which is cheaper, I get it, but you're going to be limited to 16 audio MIDI tracks. That's not going to cut it for our multi-tracks requirements. So I would recommend getting the Live 11 standard. It's $349 as of this video. It's actually cheaper than what Ableton 10 was back in the day, which is only like a few years ago. But if you're into recording, you want to have all those features that you can have while recording, like compressor, audio effects, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well, and actually a lot of benefits too. I would recommend getting Ableton Live Suite. It has a lot more features than what the standard does as well. A few benefits as well: you're going to have 17 software instruments, up to 5,000 plus sounds, 60 audio effects, which is very nice, and 60 MIDI effects as well. So yeah, here's Ableton. For this video purposes, I'm going to be using Live 10. I do have the Suite version. Once you buy Ableton and create an account, just download it, get your registration going for Ableton, and I'll meet you back in Ableton. So before we head into Ableton and start creating our Ableton template on our Sunday's worship set list, I do want to point out when you purchase Ableton, you have 2 licenses you can use and authorize 2 computers. One benefit for me on that one is I can work on my Ableton set list here at home, and then I just take my hard drive with my set list on it and then plug it into our church laptop on Sunday, and then boom, and then use Ableton on that laptop. But yeah, that's one benefit you can do since you have 2 licenses from there. Alright, let's dive into Ableton. When you install Ableton, it's probably not going to look like this. It's setting up all the stuff that it needs for the program. It's probably going to open up another file with like an example on how you can use Ableton. What you do is just close that, don't save it, and then reopen Ableton, and it's going to look like what's on my screen right now. So welcome to Ableton. Again, I'm using Ableton 10. You're probably going to use Ableton 11, but it's all going to look the same and it's function the same. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on Tab on your keyboard, or you just can click on this icon right here, and then it's going to take you to arrangement mode. Or again, you can click on Tab and it's going to take you vice versa. And then from here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna click on this first channel right over here where it says 1 MIDI, and we're gonna delete that with our backspace on the keyboard. We're gonna do the same for the next one, and you can't delete the last one because Ableton requires you to have at least one active channel, but that's all right. Right, so now to get started in the Ableton template, what we're gonna do, we're gonna rename this to tempo. So you can just click Command R, or you can just right click on this box, and then you're gonna right there where it says rename, or you can hit Command R if you like keyboard shortcuts. So we're gonna click on Command R, and then we're gonna rename this tempo with all caps. The best part about Ableton, you can color code your channels. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna right click the box again, and then I'm gonna just put this as white. There we go. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a second channel. We're gonna click on Command T, or you can just go where it says create up here on your status bar and click on insert audio track, which is Command T. And then we're gonna rename this with Command R, or right click it to rename, and then we're gonna name this click. And then we're gonna create another track channel again, and we're gonna rename this guide. All right, for this next step, we're gonna create another channel, but this time we're not gonna do Command T, we're gonna do Shift Command T. And it's gonna create us a MIDI channel for this one. And we're gonna rename this with Command R, or right click to rename it. We're gonna name it Cues. I'll explain why in a second, why we have almost the same channels with different names here in a bit. And then we're gonna create another MIDI channel. So Shift Command T. And then we're gonna rename this Stop with all caps. All right, we got our first 5 channels right over here. Color code these white. And then for our stop channel, since stop when you're driving is red, we're gonna color code this red. All right, the last channel we're gonna do, we're gonna create a click on and off channel. So we're gonna create a MIDI channel for this one. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna rename this, and we're gonna do click on off. All right, and then we're gonna color code this. Let's do red, just to be color organized here. The reason we're creating a click on and off, in future videos, I'm going to explain to you guys how to set up loops for Ableton. So let's say you have a full band, but you probably just want a shaker, or kind of like a percussion loop, so you can play along with your I almost said socks. Along with your songs, and you don't want any multitracks at all. I'm going to show you guys how to set that up as well. But we're going to need this click on and off on our template for that. What we're going to do, we're going to collide all these channels right here. So you're just going to click at that drop down, and it's just going to collide all these channels. There we go. And the reason we have the cues right here as a MIDI track, it's because when we're setting up loops, let's say you want to have a countdown for your band, like intro 1, 2, 3, 4. That cue channel right there is going to help us create that countdown right there. But yeah, in future videos, I'm just going to cover how to set up your loop system in your template, which is going to involve the cues, the click on and off, and your tempo as well. What the tempo channel does is we're going to create an audio track where you can actually control your tempo based on the loop you have. It's going to make sense in future videos. I promise you guys on that one. All right, for our next steps, so we can finalize our Ableton template for our worship set list, we're going to double click on cues right here. And then what we're going to do, you're going to go where it says drums on your left side of Ableton. And then you're going to see where it says drum racks right here. What you're going to do, you're going to drag this. So hold your mouse or left click, hold it. You're going to drag it into this area right here. And then boom, we're good there. All right. The next step, what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, click on Save Liveset As, and then this is where we're going to save our template right here. It's probably going to look like this when you're saving something. What you're going to do is you're going to click on the drop down right here, and then what you want to do, you just want to save this on your desktop for now. And we're going to save this as, what I do is just name my church name and then put template setlist after that. So you can do your church name and just do template setlist. Then once you type in church name and template setlist at the end, then just click on save, and make sure to save it on your desktop and not any other folder, because if not, you will not find it. To do this, just click on desktop again, and it should save it on your desktop. And that's it. We just created our first template for our Sunday set list. This is going to be beneficial when doing multi-tracks for now on your template. We'll set up the loop system later in future videos with the same template that you're using for your multi-tracks. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, before we finalize this video, I do want to mention to put your Ableton Template set list folder where your track folder is, whether it's on your hard drive or on your desktop. We want those both files to be together. For example, on my end, I have my church set list template right over here, and that's the file that you're gonna see right there. And then I have my tracks folders right next to it here. So this is all in my hard drive right here. So you just want to make sure they're both on the same destination, whether it's on your hard drive or desktop. Alright folks, that's pretty much it. We just created our Ableton template for our worship set list. Next video, I'm going to teach you guys how to put the multi-tracks from your multi-track sources into Ableton. But before that, we're going to utilize that track folder that we mentioned in the last video, so you can just drag and drop into Ableton. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for future videos, and then we'll see you guys in the next video.